Good morning. Got with me one of I want to say Clinton Arrow, Mississippi State, and all the above. Great, Coach Clarence McDougal. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Yes, sir, Coach. I really appreciate you getting up this Saturday morning, joining me on my show today. Now I know that you probably getting ready to sit down and watch some football.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs got a big game today.
Yeah, we got Memphis today, man. They stole 55 last week, so the defense played great on against NC State. So I'm looking forward to the game.
Now let me ask you this, Coach. I know some individuals look at Mississippi State, yes, they're in the SEC, and then look at Memphis, they're in the AAC, as the ACC, AAC, and they say, well, this should be an easy win for Mississippi State. During your time at Mississippi State, did you ever see some of the games like that? Hey, this should be a cakewalk for us, so we just going to come in and not play all, but just play.
Now you gotta look at it now. Memphis always been a great team. They always been having a great team. So when I played back in the day, they had D'Angelo Williams, and he gave us a handful. He went first round. I think we beat him, but it was a tough game. So we always knew. Memphis came out tough because it ain't that far from Mississippi. So some of those guys, and they gonna come out hard. So it ain't no cakewalk. And I look at football; it's never cakewalk. You got to put it all on the field. So you got to prepare for everybody because anybody can get beat. That's anywhere.
Yeah, you're right about that, Coach. Sometimes you may think, hey, take it lightly on this particular team, and yeah, then you got to be at a stage of fighting back. Now let's transition to the first game against Louisiana Tech. Now I know some again that was one of those games that everybody thought that Mississippi State was supposed to just come out and just completely destroy Louisiana Tech again. Not anything against Coach Oates and Louisiana Tech, but you look at this SEC football versus the Sun Belt. It's still division top programs, but this is SEC football. How do you think that the guys came out reacted, transition themselves from first half they were losing, but then they fought back hard the second half?
Now you got to look at that. La Tech, they have a great team, but we were looking forward to just blowing them out. We got up 14-0. They hit some big plays. When you let a team stay in the game, they start believing they can win. So that's big right there. So La Tech start feeling like they can win. They got a couple big plays on defense, and they got the momentum. Football a lot about momentum plays, and they got the big plays, and they start playing good on defense, stopping us a little bit. But one thing I did know that Will Rogers, he came back and offense showed up in the fourth quarter, 18 points down. The defense tightened up a little bit because they didn't drive the ball. They just hit big plays. So the defense really, we played good defense. They just hit big plays. So you eliminate that, and we got the win. So we'll take it. It don't matter how you get the win. They 2-0, you take it. You got to take it. So that's just great.
Let me ask you this, Coach. I know when people think about SEC, they think about high power offense, and sometimes they just you can say they forget about the defense. Now the SEC is like I said, they have good defense on certain teams. How
Yeah.
do you feel though that Mississippi State they for the past few years they've always had a strong defense, but sometimes the offense didn't match the defense. Do you think that they're going in that direction now, where the offense and the defense are going to gel together and match?
Well, yeah, I think that it just any team, we offense, defense, all of them got to come together. So, in the past we had the number one defense with Jonathan Abraham and all the Jefferson Simmons, all that group. The offense it was Coach Moorhead first year, so it was kind of still up and coming. So it's all about man just getting everybody on the same page, and I think they've been doing it. And Coach Leach is a great coach. He always win. He took Washington State. He was at Texas Tech, did a great job with them. Their second year, man. So the offense doing good right now. We can beat Memphis. We got a little tough little road ahead, but we can, we still can steal some games and just play ball. They looking fire right now.
Well, now let's actually. Now I know everybody wants to beat the SEC. Everybody wants to be in the SEC. Now, with the addition, future two future teams of Texas and Oklahoma, what do you think that how that make the SEC look, and how that make the other conference look as well?
Man, the SEC, you bring Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC. That's big, So it ain't no cakewalk. Everybody, them were two great teams, and they just put a lot of pressure on everybody else. They put a lot of pressure on State, Ole Miss, doggone Kentucky's, the Missouris. It just bring a lot of competition too. And Oklahoma is a stable for a great team, and Texas always been great. So they're just big. And then if you put all them, they come on to the SEC. The other conference got to watch out because you got to take 2 or 3 from the SEC, and you got to, or 4. You might got to take 4 teams in that playoff run because it's crazy. You got to do it because it's too much competition. You got the Florida, you got Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, doggone Georgia. I forgot about Georgia. It's too many. You got when the playoff come, you're gonna have to have 2 or 3 teams. You might lose 1 or 2, and you still a great team in the SEC. So they're gonna be big right there.
Now, with I know everyone says now with Georgia continues to win and Ohio State lost, you can say they kind of push Georgia up in the top 5. Now, with the BCS and then this playoff committee, do you think a lot of the individuals on the committee are showing favoritism towards the SEC because of, yes, they are a dominant conference right now in football? Well, as some people say, it's Alabama and everybody else. Do you think do you think the committee is showing more favoritism towards the SEC? Say, hey, well, we have to get at least 2 teams in there, or we don't want to get 2 teams in the playoff with them expanding.
You gotta look at it. It's all about playing. Georgia beat Clemson. Clemson always been a top ranked team. So when they come with it, SEC, you playing tough teams every week. So they ain't showing favoritism. It's just the football. You got to put the best teams in there, and that's what they got to do. So if Georgia had 1 loss to Alabama, they lose the SEC championship game, but they beat Clemson, or and then Ohio State lost. So it's hard to take another team that's undefeated and you got a one loss SEC team, and Georgia lose to Alabama in the championship game, or the SEC championship game. It's hard not to pick Georgia if you don't think Georgia can beat anybody else in the country. So they know, and when you watch this football, it's great football, so it ain't no favoritism. It just you watch it. They beat Clemson early on, and Clemson ain't gonna play too many hard teams again. So you gotta look at that, take all that into consideration.
Now, I know you yelling east side. You forget about the team down in the swamp.
Oh, I got 2 guys. I got 2 players in the swamp now. I love, they play Alabama today, so I'm gonna be tuned in. But I got 2 DBs down there, DeJuan Black and Jadarius Perkins. So I'm be looking forward. They got a great team. Florida got a great team. They just got whoever the quarterback gonna be, and see what they're gonna do against Alabama. But Florida, Florida and Georgia always be great too. So I'm pulling for Florida now. That's my team. I love Dan Muller. He did great things to start.
I know what, like I said, you just stated though that you had a couple players that you coached down there playing for the University of Florida. Now, again, a lot of people are sleeping on Florida because of that. You can say they somewhat going through transition on offense. Now, Coach Smart over at Georgia, you can say he has been dominant since he came to Georgia. However, it's just that he cannot get over that hump, and especially when he played against Alabama in the championship game and the SEC championship game, as well as and the national championship game. And it's like, is that the same Georgia that we've been watching throughout the year? What do you think when? I'm not looking forward ahead, but this game today between Alabama and Florida is going to be a good one. But what do you think about the game against Georgia and Florida later on down the line? The what's it called? The game, the cocktail party.
The cocktail party, yeah. I'm looking like Florida, and Coach Muller been coaching against Coach Smart for a long time, and they know each other. They know each other background and all that. Florida play great defense. Georgia play great defense. They're gonna be the matchups of the 2 quarterbacks. Georgia quarterback been hurt. He got hurt last week, so we got to see if he come back. See if he come back strong. It's always been a Achilles heel of Georgia on the offensive side. They lost a couple of stars. They lost their top receiver, and so they're gonna be big. It just depends on they got that running game going. But a lot of people like stopping the run. You got an area that ain't got some, so that's just different. So we'll see what Georgia do when they got a great defense. the matchup because they didn't score a lot of points against Clemson either now. So and Clemson played great on defense.
Now, let me ask you in reference to the game. That game, what was it? Was 10-6.
I think 10 or
10-6 or
7.
10-7, something like that. But it was a low scoring game. So both of those are good teams. Coach Dadboy as well, Coach Smart, they're good offensive minded and defensive minded coach. So they know how to work things together. Now, with that game turning out the way that it turned out, who do you point at and said, no, the offense was bad, both offense were bad, or both defense were good, or how would you look at that game and say, no, give your assessment of the game with the score turning out the way that it turned out?
Me looking at it, I'm just looking at it. It was great defense. It was great defense. The first game of the season, you don't really know who you got and who gonna do what. You know, that quarterback did probably with his second, third start, and you playing against a Georgia team that top ranked. But Georgia, one thing about Georgia, they lost a lot of defensive backs and went to the NFL last year. So you thought they were gonna be slacking, but Georgia do a great job recruiting. So they was still talented. And they got a lot more NFL guys over there too. So it was just great defense. Just first game of the season, so it jitters. It ain't it wasn't nothing. The offense wasn't doing it again. Clemson scored a lot of points last week, but when you're playing them top team, it's hard to score points on them, and it's anybody. So they play great defense, and you got to take the hats off to the both defense.
Now, with you being on the defense side, I know that was your type of football.
Yeah, I love
seeing the score there where it was and how the both offenses. Again, they both had good offenses, especially the quarterback at Clemson. He played last year with guys. Lawrence was out. Trevor Lawrence was out against Notre Dame, and he did well. Even though, like I said, the outcome of the first game wasn't compared to what he did last year, I think he did well last year. Even though that they lost, but I think he did well to play in that game, especially it was a big game. His first game started, and I was looking forward to seeing him this year. But like I said, when they played against Georgia, I was like, man, is this the same quarterback that was there last year? But then you got to think about it. That was just, like I said, that was just good defense on both parts of the ball. So
great defense, and Georgia had a year to prepare. They were preparing a whole year for him. They watched him. They prepared for him. So they took away Clemson, whatever they did good, and took it away. So and that's the first game. So you played late in the season or in the bowl game, you got time to come up with more gadget plays and all this and all that. But his first game, he did an okay job. And he'll get better. He probably the year now or next year will be a Heisman candidate because he's a pretty great quarterback too. So your first game at Georgia, you young, he'll get better.
But let me ask you, in reference to the Heisman, I know a few years ago that we had Dak Prescott. We would think that he should have been a candidate for the Heisman, but he was candidate. But looking at the records, do you think a team record should reflect a player's opportunity of being considered for the Heisman?
Yeah, you got to, cause you got to win games. That's the biggest thing. If you win some games and you put them numbers up, it's great. Cause sometimes you lose and you put them numbers up, it's kind of different. You ain't winning the game, so it's all about your team and how you win it. That's just me. You can't give it to a guy that I think who won it? Manziel won it at 9-3 or 8-4. Did he win it? He didn't have a great record or 10-2.
I said he had good numbers, but he didn't I know he didn't have a he gave Alabama a headache.
Yeah, he did Alabama.
That's probably the reason why he was there, because he gave Alabama a headache.
And Lamar Jackson too, I think he lost 2 or 3 games when he won it.
Yeah. I see. My thing is that I'm looking at say, is it more of record, your overall record, or is it numbers? Dealing with your stats, or how you make a difference in the team? Because I know some people looking at the court. I know don't shoot me about this now, Coach. About the school up north, the quarterback Matt Corral. Some people looking like say he should be a Heisman candidate. Based off what he did last year. But then some people look at, well, Ole Miss is going to have to win some big games to get him even to be considered. He's a good quarterback.
You got to win the big games. If he in the Heisman race and whatever. I like Matt Corral, you know, so he doing a great job. They putting up big numbers and Lane Kiffin, he dialing people up. You know, the defense is playing, you know, great ball right now. T-Buck doing a great job with the DBs. But the biggest thing to me with him, they got to beat the LSU Auburn. You know, if you lose to Alabama, but you put up good numbers, you know, you still have a chance. You see what I'm saying? So they got Tulane today. You know, he keep putting up the numbers he putting up. You know, it's unbelievable. But he got to be LSU, Auburn. If he lose to Alabama, he got to put up good stats. And then, you know, who else? Then, you know, Mississippi State or whatever, you know, everybody else. But because I don't think they got nobody in the East. I think they got Vanderbilt and I don't know if they got Georgia anybody.
No, I don't think they
So
have Georgia.
he gotta be. If he want to be in the Heisman candidate, he gotta be LSU or Auburn and put a good game against Alabama and Texas A&M. You know, them games right there. He gotta show that he one of the top dudes, and he looking like it so far.
Now, what you mentioned, LSU is kind of on decline this year, but is it you saying that he still has to put a good number because hey, it's LSU? But even though they're not looking at best this year,
LSU is LSU. You still they got some great guys over there. You know, I hope Ogeron get it together. You know, we got a kid to play linebacker over there, Bugs Chrome. So, you know, we pulling for them too. So you got LSU is LSU. So you know you gotta. They still a monster in SEC. They just, you know, they gotta get their offense together. But you know, you gotta beat them if you you know, you want to be the Heisman candidate. It just you gotta have that on your name. LSU, you get a win against them. That's still big in my book.
yeah, it's like I said, it's building up his resume, making his resume stuff look good. Now, Coach, I'm gonna ask you this: as a former college athlete, now with this NIL into place, how do you feel about that? Is it about time? Why so late? Or they shouldn't do it?
I think the kids need something, and if you got a chance to you make money off your name and stuff like that, why not do it? Everybody else can do it, you know. So only football players can't. So I'm happy for these kids to get opportunity to make a little extra money doing something. 'Cause a lot of people don't know, man. It's kind of hard, you know. It's hard for some kids. You know, some kids got a little this and that, but it's hard for some kids. So you can make a little couple of dollars off your name, and you balling, you doing something constructive, you know. So I think I'm happy for the kids that getting that opportunity, you know, because football everybody don't go to the NFL. So much you can make off your name in college and whatever the case may be, you do it so you can set your life up for the future.
You actually do you think that this is a plus for college sports, as well as that it would make some kids stay in school a little longer, or do you think it is a hindrance to college sports because of the kids are more focused on, hey, I need to go out and self promote myself, forget about winning this stuff. I just need to go out and promote myself so I can get some more endorsement deals.
No, you ain't. You can look and see getting an endorsement deal. It's still about the school you at. It's really the school. So you gotta look at all it. Everybody ain't getting it. What school you in and what's your name and what you doing on that field. So if you ain't doing that on the field, you ain't getting too much. So it's all about your production. So that makes guys want to go harder. You know, they make guys want to go harder. So it's just a big opportunity. So if I'm a guy now, I'm looking like, man, I'm gonna put up some numbers. I'm going a little bit extra harder, extra everything to get my family out of whatever situation they got. You know, and I'm finna do what I gotta do. If I can make an extra little money over here, I can do that. But my whole focus is trying to get to that next level. And that's what a lot of these kids trying to do. So it's just big on everybody, really, to me.
Yeah, and my shit is now how though, so with you being a junior college coach, has that played a part with you guys in JUCO? Has it transitioned down to JUCO, or is it still more at the 4-year university, or the JUCO student athletes? They're not really focusing on that. How is it? Has that played a part in JUCO that you know of?
No, I don't think JUCO. I don't think it played a part in our thing. I just saw a couple of kids at some schools, a little online stuff with but they ain't getting no money. They probably get a couple of percent off of shoes or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but it ain't big right now. It ain't big in JUCO.
And let me ask you, how do you think that's hurting recruiting from your standpoint? As where some kids, I mean, some student athletes, they will say, "Hey, well, I've been already contacted by some individuals, so I would rather go to this 4-year university and probably have to sit out my freshman year, a Prop 48 or something, a red shirt. I'm gonna go to this 4-year university and just continue to build on my brand instead of playing yet, instead of going to this JUCO where I can play and continue to get better. But so I'm gonna go ahead and sit out my freshman year." Has that? Do you
No,
think that is playing a hindrance on JUCO football as well, or JUCO
no,
sport?
that ain't gonna play a part in because the biggest thing we get the kids that you don't have a grade, so you got to come to JUCO. You made a mistake. You got to come to JUCO, or is a kid that got to get developed, got overlooked. So we don't have that problem. The kids know in Mississippi football and Mississippi JUCO football is the best in the country. So we are, in these 14 teams in Mississippi, they are brand. They help you out a lot too. So it go hand in hand. They know in Mississippi football, if I can play in this league, I get my chance, give me a chance to go to the next level. So yeah, we got our own brand, of all 14 schools. So it helps out a lot too.
All right. Well, let's take a trip back down memory lane. 2001, your senior year at Clinton High School in Clinton, Mississippi.
Yeah.
As though, like I said, what you know now, do you think that you still would have made the decision to go into Mississippi State, or like I said, you would have tried JUCO and then transition to a 4-year, or you would have chosen another school?
No, I would have still went to Mississippi State. And if I know now, I still would have went to Mississippi State. Only thing I want to did, I want to play an All-Star game. That's in my career. I had a great career at Clinton. I don't think I would have did not play an All-Star game and just focus on getting to college my freshman year and playing. That's the only thing I would have changed.
Well, let me ask you, and I know that some players look at that, they're selected for an All-Star game, and some will say, "Hey, no, this is a good opportunity for me to continue on to play against different competition, to better myself, as well as to get my name out there amongst more eyes, or get myself out there in front of more eyes." Now, as well as in college, playing in like the Senior Bowl, the Blue Gray game, different All-Star games, and then participating in the combine. Do you think sometimes that hinders an athlete if they're selected and they choose not to, or do you think it's saying we chose you to play in one of the best All-Star game and participate in one of the best events, and you turning us down? Who do you think you are? Do you think that sometimes plays a hindrance on how far the student athlete can go, or the athlete can go professional wise?
No, I don't think it hurts them. It just sometimes you got to be smart. And the biggest thing back then we were playing it in the summer. So after my football season, I'm playing basketball. I'm doing running track. I'm doing everything, and then we playing in the summer. So now they playing right after they finish the state championship game. They playing the game the next week. So you've been doing football still. So that's a difference. So that's the only thing I might okay, if I'm playing now, I can play the next week. It's just another game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I've been practicing. I've been getting ready for it. But when I played, we played it in the summer. So I took off 6 months and I'm coming back. You ain't really training the same. It's kind of different. You ain't really training the same. And I just had a competitive heart. I just won. Dante Walker went down there 2 years before me. And he from Clinton. He put us on the map. He did a great job in the All-Star game. So I'm going down there and solidify my name in Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I just was a competitor. So I was like, he my big brother. So I just like, okay, he did his thing. I'm finna go down there and show Clinton still got, some guys. So it just a miss, you get hurt, but I just wish you would have played it like how they do it now. They
Okay.
played it right out of the season, so they don't hurt nobody.
Now, when you was at Clinton, you played basically almost everything on the field except line, correct? And quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback, yeah, everything else, yeah. I played everything else, every role.
And which now, if it wasn't DB or a linebacker, what other position would you have chose to play in college?
people say I was running back. They say running back. I thought I was more like a Deion Sanders receiver, DB. That what my biggest thing was in high school. But everybody tell me you could have been a good running back too. So I probably could have played running back if I would have wouldn't have got hurt with my knees and stuff.
Okay, but then once you transition up to Mississippi State and you were playing linebacker, now I can say looking at the roster back, especially from 2001 to until your senior year, you guys had a roster full of all Mississippi top players.
We
Compared
did.
to other schools in the SEC, how was the competition different from? I know that a lot of you guys competed against each other at Mississippi State in high school, and then you compete against the all Floridas, the all Alabamas, the all Louisiana, and all Tennessees and Arkansas. How was that competition a bit different from, like I said, you competing against your teammates in high school compared to the SEC guys?
Well, competing against other people, they want the best out of them, and we try and get the best out of us. So we just trying to compete, and that's the only thing. The biggest thing about us when we was at Mississippi State, man, it just I wasn't the same player I was in high school. So I just had to I got to play my role and do what I had to do. And, Norwood and them, they did a great job of what they did. Darren Williams, we had a lot of great guys. Some were with O line, D line, and it just some people had different, a better scheme or something like that. But it was competition everywhere, man. So we just everybody was trying to get better for whoever. So you playing against Florida guy, they trying to kill us. You playing against doggone Memphis guys, you playing against Louisiana guys. We had some Texas guys. We had everybody just trying to be better. So we just had a short end of the stick on. We had a lot of guys get hurt, a lot of guys. It just was a crazy situation when I was at Mississippi State. We couldn't win a game. 9/11 happened. It was just crazy stuff. So it just
All
was
right.
a different breed.
All right, Coach. I finna just name some names for you. Now, just let me know what you think. David Hurd,
They heard great cornerback, my boy.
Willie Evans,
We live a dog. Dog. 3-6. Wayne County. He a straight dog.
Titus Brown,
Tighter Brown. Young stunner. He gonna got he one of my young guys. Young stunner. He a great player, man.
Quentin Culberson.
My boy. My boy. My boy. That's my boy. That's my young guy, man. That's my boy, man. Quentin Coles, I love him, man. That's my boy, man. He a dog, straight dog.
Now, like I said, I had the opportunity to see Quentin Culberson play at Provine. I said he was one of the ones played DB, well, not just DB, played in the whole secondary, and then plays a receiver as well. So he's one
Great
of the
player,
ones
man.
that was one of a good athlete. Now, looking back at that 2005 team with Coach Sylvester Croom, what would you say? What was a piece of the puzzle that you guys were missing? Because I said you guys had some studs on the team. A lot of guys had opportunity to transition to play in the NFL as well. What was the missing piece of that team to reflect that record? To say, hey, well, this is our record should have been better than what it was.
I don't know. Kroon, Kroon was a great coach. We just didn't get it done as players, man. He put us in a great scheme. It just I can't say I don't know. We was I think me just as a coach now, and we just looking back at what the game to went to now. If Omar Connor had a chance to be in a spread kind of thing and spread it out, and you got a Norwood that can, you spreading everybody out, but we were still kind of, I think we did the West Coast, and he trying to implement that a lot, So I think if Omar and them we could have spread it out a little bit, zone reads and stuff, and do some things like that, I think it'd have been kind of different. But Coach, and he had a great scheme. The West Coast, he had success in it, and we had a great running back. But the SEC was, it was tough. Them defense back then were tough, man. The LSU, they were tough. They were tough. So you could have spread them out a little bit, just as me talking as a coach, spread them out a little bit and give Norwood Omar a great chance to do something. But I know one thing though, we played Florida. We played them We beat Florida, my '04. And we did that day right there. We did. I think we could have won some more games, man. It just the record didn't reflect that. Coach and them did a great job putting us in the position. We just couldn't. We just. I don't know. We had the rabbit food. We couldn't win, man. I don't know.
Okay.
It just. I don't know what to say.
All right. Again, you
But
listen to More on the Road with Bernard Moore III with the guest Coach Clarence McDougal, former Clinton Arrow, Mississippi State Bulldog football player. And like I said, I'm looking at the roster back from 2005, which was your senior year. I said Jerry Norwood,
great
NFL player.
dog. Yeah.
T. Millens.
T. Millens, a straight dog. But his opportunities, man. He T. Mills, he was a dog too, man. T. Mills, great.
Then your friend, tight end Eric Butler.
Eric Butler he got a chance to go to the NFL. He was a couple years younger, but he had a chance to go to the NFL. Jason Husband was on that team.
Yes, him and Desmond Sherrod.
Desmond Sherrod went to the NFL. He went in the NFL 2 or 3 years.
So I'm saying go ahead.
We had a great team, man. But that when the SEC was real tough, man. I'm telling you, the Auburns, LSU, Florida. We beat Florida. We got Ron Zook fired, and that's how they got they muscle with Urban Meyer. So we helped them get their chance. Who else? Georgia was, back then, man. The SEC was real tough. It's tougher now, but it was real tough back then. Now it was real tough for us back then.
I know you still you still had the cakewalk essay with Vanderbilt as well as Kentucky. And I see
no. Vanderbilt had Jay Cutler. They had Jay Cutler moved there. He was the first round draft pick. So I'm telling you, man, the SEC, Eli Manning. I played against the first pick in the draft, Eli Manning. The second pick, Ronnie Brown. On the third pick was I think Cadillac went third in 1 year. We played against some top dudes. A lot of them guys went first round, man.
That's why I'm glad you said that about with Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown. Auburn, when y'all played against them, they had those 3-headed monsters.
And Brandon Jacobs.
And I said you had a 3-headed monster back there. Either one of them could start anywhere in the SEC. What type of no? All right. Well, now they said as a coach and as an athlete, it's going to be two different game plans. Now, what game plan as a player? How would you try to stop those 3-headed monsters? They want to ask you to come back and come as a coach. How would you stop those 3-headed monsters?
As a player, you think you better than them, but those guys, man, okay, I'm gonna tackle, I'm doing it, but it ain't that easy. You just think I'm gonna go in and do what Coach say and it's gonna work. But man, them guys were first round draft picks for a reason. Them guys were great. So as a player, I don't care what their names. I'm saying we trying to go kill them. But it's easier said than done. And them guys did a great job. But as a coach, for me, looking at I'm a defensive guy, I'm trying to stack that box, man. I'm gonna stack that box on. But they had Jason Campbell. He went first round. But I'm gonna live with the pains of down they throwing the ball. And when we played them, I think we played them before they came out. They came out and spread. And they threw the ball the first 3 times, and we think, okay, they go 3 and out. We crunked up. We happy. We happy. The next drive, they come out there. They don't throw the ball. They run the ball down our throats, man. And it was crazy. It was crazy. So I'm just like, man, it was easy said and done. But as a coach, I'm gonna try to stack that box and make Campbell beat us throwing the ball. And I know he probably could do it, but I live with it. I try to stop. We're gonna try to stop the run and don't let them get off. That's just the biggest thing I do as a coach.
Again, we talked with Clarence McDougal, former Clinton Arrow, Mississippi State Bulldogs star. Played all over the defensive D-line. I know as a high school student athlete, if you didn't play multiple positions, you weren't a high school athlete. Especially now, I know, and even with that Clinton, you guys had plenty. You guys had depth. I know you probably was carrying anywhere between 70 to 80 players on the rosters. year in and
Yeah,
year out?
Clinton. Yeah, Clinton. Yeah, we had at least 80, 85. We had we had a lot of guys on the team. Yeah.
Now, looking at high school football now compared to, especially when you were playing, you look at a lot of the offense now. I say a lot of the offense are going to the spread. They're running these more guys. I can't one back, run these triple option, read option, motion, and jet sweeps. What do you think that makes the game look a little different now? Because some schools they're throwing, but they're not throwing a lot, and some doing more running, and then some are doing more throwing than running. How do you think that the game of football today is different from back when you were playing?
See, back when we were playing, it was more of a, you gotta have them running backs. That was the biggest thing back then. You had to have some great running backs. You had to have a guy that took the load. A Dante Walker, Coco Hard, Mario King. You had to have some big time guys. Brian Darden back in the day. I used to love watching him. And all the guys at Pro Man done alone. It was more okay, we're gonna pound the ground, and I got my best player at running back. That was back then when we were coming up. But now everybody spread it out. So now you can have a great running back, but you got to have great, receivers and everything like that. But the game has evolved. It's evolved, and the quarterback is the biggest piece now. So you put the best player at quarterback. Like a Cam Makers, even though he was the best running back or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna put my best player at quarterback, and he gonna control the game. And like a Cam Makers, he did that. So it's just different now. You can open up a little bit more stuff. So you got a kid that ain't the best, but I get him in open space and stuff like that. He can make some moves. A lot of kids that can play. You ain't gotta rely on just one guy. Like back in the day, okay, they know I'm gonna run power. They know it, I know it, and we're gonna do what we do. Or we're gonna run Billy or whatever the case may be, what we doing. Like we ran the dog on the wing T. So you know what runs you gonna get out of there. They know we doing it, and I know they doing it. And like a Sapanola back in the day, they run the spinner rule and they run the power game. But now everybody's spread out. One guy ain't got to be the show. So I got different guys that can do a lot of different things and open up the offense for everybody. That help. And I
Now,
like it so far.
now, as a defensive player, now how would you try to stop them? Because you said they running up the hole, they hitting these jet sweeps, the fastest guy, especially once if he gets to the outside and you got good receiving blocking. Now, as a defensive coach, how would you like I said, put your players in the best position to kind of cease that, not completely stop it? Because like I said, sometimes you can probably get a stop and just so happen that he just break through. How, as a defensive coach, how would you position your players to be in a great position to, like I said, minimize a lot of the big plays? Because there has been a lot of big plays when they run it.
Yeah, well, my biggest thing is as a coach, I'm watching that film, seeing who they best guys is. But and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna man to man until they get us out of it. And because a lot of kids, a lot of now they doing RPOs and doing that. I'm gonna see how good the quarterback is, and I'm gonna put that pressure on him to be great. Throwing dimes. Now, if he can, I'm gonna back up. We're gonna play a little cover two. We're gonna play a little cover three, and we'll do that. But if you can't, it's gonna be a long night for you because we're gonna come and you gotta make some choices quick. And so you don't have that much time to do all that.
Again,
We're gonna put that pressure on you.
Again, this is More on the Road with Bernard Moore III, talking with Coach Clarence McDougal, former Clinton Arab Mississippi State Bulldog player, talking about some coaching strategies as defensive minded. Like I said, I'm a defensive player too. I played defensive secondary, corner and safety. And
Yeah.
I said, I like defense. I got tired of getting hit. I played receiver, got tired of getting hit. So I forget, let me go do the hit. So that's why I switched over to defense. Now, Coach, let me ask you this. I know I've been watching high school football lately because I announce a lot of the high school games for JPS. And so I'm seeing different schools every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I see some coaches now, normally the defensive front are some of your bigger guys, bigger, stronger guys. Not the fastest, not the quickest, but they were your stronger guys to control that line, and then you'd have your linebackers to make plays. Now you can see the defense has transitioned, especially from high school to college into the pros. They put in the bigger, stronger guys in the middle, then putting the bigger, faster guys on the outside, putting pressure from the outside. What's your
Yeah.
thought about that? That's something like that you say, hey, I like that. No, putting pressure on quarterback, and also it'll crash the run down in, so make them run up the middle more.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, man, you trying to put a lot of speed on that field. So if I got some bigger guys that can move a little bit, usually they'll play D end, but I put them inside. And you put your linebackers as fast, they're aggressive. You put them down at the end. Now you put some safeties that can fast, they can run. I'm putting them at doggone linebacker. And that's what a lot of guys doing. You just trying to put your best player, trying to find a best play for your best players. That's the biggest thing. And I'm putting, a lot of guys right now they putting a lot of speed on the field because you got to match up with the offense. A lot they run his own read or whatever case. You got to have some guys that can run people down. And so that's the big thing you got to do. I got to have some athletes on the field. That's why as a defense coach, I'm looking for guys that can run. You got to be able to run. That's what I'm looking for on the defense side of the ball. Run and can chop.
All right. Well, now if we take a trip down 49, you guys are, was it 3-0 right now?
Yeah, 3-0, 3-0.
So it's more of you trying to repeat last season and go playing in the bowl game, correct?
Nah, we trying to go to the national championship. Yeah, we trying to go to the top. Yeah.
Now, tell me about the difference of this team this year compared to last year, because like we were just talking earlier, you send some guys off to Florida, you send some guys off to LSU, you send some guys off to Georgia.
Arkansas State, yeah.
Yeah, so you send some guys defensive wise all over the southeastern. What is compared to this team compared to last year? What's the difference, or is there any difference? Or say, hey, ain't nobody missing a beat, we still going.
No, it's a difference. It's just we had to try to reload. We got a lot of. I'm talking about the back end, our secondary. We lost 5 guys that went D1 in that secondary. We had a kid go. We had 2 kids go G5. We had one go to San Antonio. San Antonio. We had 2 guys go to Arkansas State. We had 2 guys go to Florida. So the biggest thing back what we doing now is we got guys that we had a lot of talent last year in the secondary. Now it's just guys that is hungry. We got some talent, but it's just they got to prove it. We got we transitioned one of our quarterbacks to D back. He just committed to Kentucky, and he's the top cornerback in the country. So, and we got a kid that transferred from Mississippi State that he didn't play that much, so he just want to get. He's just hungry. He want to prove himself a little bit more. And then we got a kid named Jay Sean Baker that transferred from Jackson State that just know how to play and is a gamer. We got another kid named Copeland, just how to play his role and wait his turn. So he just trying to do his thing. And then we got kid AJ Edwards from Germantown, got overlooked in high school and just want to better his situation. So and got developed a little bit more. So he doing a great job for us. So we got talent, but they got to prove themselves. That's the only difference. We got guys that got to prove it, and we love the challenge of it.
Well, coach, let me ask you this. Now, as a coach, when you have a secondary, normally depending on the defense, you want to have at least four, anywhere between 4 to 6 of your best players on the field as secondary. Is it a good thing to say, hey, I don't know who to put there because they're all good? Or is it a bad thing to say, man, who can I put there because they're not what we need to do?
Nah, I like it just the first answer. I like that the better. I want 4 guys, no matter who I put in there. And we're gonna play ball, we're gonna scrap. And then that's what you want as a defensive unit. You want guys that can do everything, So one thing I say is I want guys to just play their role and do their thing. So I'm gonna have all my guys gonna be ready. So we just everybody gotta play a different spot, different role, and whatever the case may be. So that's what we do. You gotta be able to play every spot, and we play with 5 DBs. So you gotta be able to do tackle people, and cover. That's the biggest thing we do. So you got to do it.
Let me ask you this. I know some people would say, I mean, we can make it as an excuse, or we just got to buck up and deal with it. Now I know that we're comfortable. We have those players say, "Hey, my starter, my guys, I can really depend on them." They get hurt, and things are a little different. And we can say, "Hey, well, I didn't have my starter. I had some injuries in the secondary. Things went wrong." So, what do you say about that? When somebody said, "Hey, well, I didn't have my star player, so that's why we played the way that we played." Do you feel that way sometimes? Like, "Hey, I lost my starter, so we didn't play our best," or hey, it's like I said, it's next man up. That's why you recruit more players just so you can have that depth chart.
And JUCO, you got a lot of guys who won't get but 65 on the roster now. So a lot of guys got to play a lot of snaps, and we got a 2-year turnover. So every year we turning over. So we used to it. So we got to have some more guys. That's why you recruit. You got to have some. You got to have guys that get ready. You got to get them ready, get them ready to play. Last game we played, one of the guys, he had a little injury and he had to come out. We got the next guy got to step up. That's just what it is, man. You got to step up. You don't get that many chances, man. And these guys be hungry. Some freshmen got to grow up faster, and that just big on everybody. So guys got to step up and play they role. And then if your time get called, you got to be just like the starter. And that's just what it is. But we play a lot of guys on defense, so we try to get everybody ready.
So it's more of a rotation, getting in and out. So, like I said, you just now I know this is has been a debate about as coaching wise. If you up by 30, do you take your foot out the acceleration and just put it on cruise control, or you just play?
You just play. You just play, and you up by 30. You get some second team guys, and you get them reps, and get them chances to get better. But you don't want them to take their foot off the gas. So if you take your starters out, you got your second team guys. You want them to get they reps and get trying to get better. And so, but if they go out there and do what they do, and they better, let it run. But you just trying guys, and you getting their reps and getting better.
I know some coaches they keep on asking me. I know I do a show on ESPN Talking Sports Live with Rob J on 105.9 FM The Zone, and they asked, and that conversation came on. Like, man, nah, I wouldn't try to score on them. No, I just take my stars out, just run, just take it easy. Now, if I call a running play, yeah, I switch and put my second string, third string in, whatever. If I call a running play and he break it, what, you want me to fall down on one? No, I'm saying you still playing football, so it's not my fault that they can't stop my third string either. Because like you said, you want to prepare your second and third string game time situation at game speed, so just in case they have to come in at the crucial moment. So like I said, you want to give them the game time repetition. So some people are like, well, nah, he just need to take the foot off the acceleration, and slow down. No, I ain't with all this stuff.
No, you got to play, and your second and third team guys, they worked hard and prayed. They want to play, so they getting ready to, try to. Okay, I'm going to try to score. Show coach I can be on the first team, and that's just what you do. It ain't nothing wrong with that. I've been on both ends of the stick. I've been on both ends, so if we can't stop it, I understand, and I'm still gonna go shake that coach hand. Hey man, y'all put on us, or we put whatever the case may be. But I've been on both ends, and we couldn't stop it. And they killed us, and then we could stop it, or they couldn't stop us. So it's on both ends, and football is football. It's just respect. I got to get better, or we doing our job, and it's just it's the
All right,
biggest thing.
well, Coach, next Thursday, y'all making a trip down to Ryman, Mississippi, down Highway 18 on Main Street, playing
Yeah,
at R.E. Renford Field, Gene Murphy Stadium. I may have it backwards. Excuse me. I apologize, Heinz.
yeah,
If I
Gene
got
Murphy Field.
it back. Your old stuffing ground where you started. You plan to get some of your former colleagues. That just like you said, that if they run it up, we still gonna shake hands at the end of the game. Hey, you better watch
Yeah.
out. Or if we run up on there, hey, you still gonna shake hands. So what is your mentality coming into this game? Is it different from any other the first three games that you already played, or is it Is it turned up or not? Now you said you got to your vibe night. Is it turned up some, or is it turned down, or is it still the same?
It's all the same, man. It's a division play. You know, the South Division is one of the tough divisions in JUCO football. You know, the South Division in Mississippi. So everybody know it's gonna be a dog fight. You know, they got great players. We got great players. So and you know, I know those guys. You know, they know us. So we've been in the league. So the biggest thing for us, man, we just going out there trying to win. You know, they doing probably trying to they doing the same thing. So we just gonna do our job. They gonna do their jobs, and you know, see who's gonna come out on top.
Now, with the history of Hines, I know I know Coach Hughes and Coach Murphy were definitely trying to get you from Clinton over there. I know that you saw them based almost every Friday, every day of the week.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, Coach Hughes. Yeah, I signed. I double signed. I double signed. I thought my grade was kind of shaky, so I double signed with him. I did.
and I know Coach Murphy, Coach Hughes and Coach Murphy came up as far as Hill and tried to recruit us as well. I told Coach Murphy, I'm not going to come down to High because I heard the stories about you down at High.
Yeah.
So and I said I didn't want to have to go through it. So that's why I didn't go to Hines. I chose Jackson State. That was still I'm still running into trouble, especially with I signed. Well, I didn't sign. I walked on up under James Big Daddy Carson and finished up with
Yeah.
Coach Robert Hughes. Now, with the history of Hines and all the players that they have produced to go on to four-year universities, to go and play in Super Bowl, to play in the league, I'm not really familiar with the history of Mississippi Gulf Coast, but it seems like you guys are doing the same thing now. What you're building now is the blueprint the same as like how there's a Hines compared to Mississippi Gulf Coast? Did you take that same mentality with you down to Mississippi Gulf Coast to say, hey, Hines, while I was at Hines, they have produced a number of student athletes to go on to 4 year, to go on to league, to win Super Bowls, to win honors and award. Did you take some of that same blueprint, or you stole a page out their playbook and take it down to Mississippi Gulf Coast with you? Because that's like, it seems like that's what you guys are doing now. You winning championships, you sending guys to four-year universities, to some major four-year universities, and then they all continue on their career.
No, the biggest thing is the Mississippi Gulf Coast has been, been great. You know, I just came down when I took out hand, you know, it's hard work and dedication, but Gulf Coast, you know, they got their own legacy and everything like that. I'm just when I just came in. Okay, I'm gonna fit in. I know the history. I just know the history of the school. They've been winning championships. They've been winning, putting guys to the next level. Coach Campbell did a great job. You know, he was a coach. He was coach at South Alabama, coach at Central Arkansas. He great coach. He coached me at Mississippi State, so I know the history. You know, I'm a football guy that that know about the football in this state. You know, so Gulf Coast always been great. They always been doing a great job. So, and we just trying to continue that stuff down there. You know, and hand they've been great. And they've been doing their thing. And Coach Murphy, he's been doing it 30+ years. You know, he had a legacy of what he did. You know, coaching them, trying to continue that. Well, this Gulf Coast always had they history, and we've been knowing. We know that I know we won 5 national championships down there, and I think it 10 state championships. Or I might be mistaken, but it's a great history of football, and they've been putting guys out. You know, Coach Moore was a D-back coach before me, and he always had Gulf Coast had 2 or 3 or 4 guys to go to the next level on the 4-year school, big time school. So Gulf Coast always been a big player in this JUCO league, and just like everybody else in the league, everybody been putting guys to D1 and stuff, and everybody got their own history. I just feel in line Gulf Coast. I just feel in line what they do, and just keep it going.
All right, again, you listen to Morning Road with Bernard Moore, talking with Coach Clarence McDougal, former Clinton era Mississippi State Bulldog, currently defensive back coach at Mississippi Gulf Coast. All right, Coach. But before I let you go, Coach, what are we expecting for the future of Mississippi Gulf Coast football program? Instead of winning, still continue to win national championship and send your 2-year guys onto 4-year university and beyond. What are we looking for Mississippi, the future of Mississippi Gulf Coast while you're there?
Man, for me, it's just to keep developing young men, trying to get them to the next level, and that's the biggest thing. And then just trying to win games. That's the biggest thing. Trying to win games and trying to get these guys to the next level. And developing the guys. And we got a great coaching staff. Coach Jack Wright do a great job with everybody. You know, then we got great offensive coaches, Coach Bam Bryant. He do a great job with our receivers. He develop young men every day, and we got Les George, the O line coach. He a great O line coach, man. He do a great job with them guys. He always has some big time guys. Coach Shufeld, our defense coordinator. He's been doing this for 30 years, and he's been great. You know, I love working with him. And then we got other coach, Rod Smith, been a lot of places, and he do a great job with the big line. So it's all about developing young men, man, trying to get them to the next level and trying to win some games. And that's the biggest thing we got. You know, our administration do a great job of getting us prepared and helping us out. So that's just big. And our president, Dr. Graham, they do a great job.
And I was speaking actually last week. I had Coach Adams on the show, the
Oh
head
yeah,
women's basketball
the
coach.
basketball, yeah, okay.
Yes, I had on the show last week, and she was telling about the support of the student athletes. You know, they're everywhere. Each student athlete is supporting other sports. Now, as a coach, I know, are you on the field or are you in the press box?
I'm on the field. I'm on the field. I gotta be on the field because
Okay.
I like being loud. I gotta get the guys riled up.
All right. Now, with you being on the field and you turn around, look in the stands, I know one thing as a player, the coach said, do not look in the stands. Keep your eye on the field. Do not look in the stand. Now, as a coach, you know, sometimes you got to turn around, look around. And when you turn around and you see other student athletes, other sports, you know, cheering you guys on, as well as the student body itself, and then you see the administration there, how does that make you feel as a coach to see the support of other student athletes, other sports, and other coaches, as well as the student body and the administration? Not the fans. I'm talking about just on the school ground itself, the student body, the other student athletes, and administration. How does that make you feel as a coach?
As a coach, man, it feel great. You know, you got support from everybody. You know, and we got a great relationship with the baseball, the basketball coaches, everything. You know, so and then the student athletes, they come. You know, they taking coaches classes and they been around. It's a great atmosphere for college football, and the guys really respect it. And it's just a lot of love as a coach. You love seeing it. You just love seeing all the. Cause we go to basketball game, we go to baseball game, we go to softball game. All the head coaches do a great job of getting their people in line to do, you come around and show support with everybody. And it's a big family thing down there too. I see it. We go to the softball game, it was everywhere, baseball, basketball. Cause I love basketball, but everybody, they love football. Coach Hope, great coach. She support us, we support her. It's everybody. It's a big family.
All right, Coach. Well, we got a few more minutes, Coach. Sell Mississippi Gulf Coast to our followers, your recruiting pitch to get not just student athletes, but students as well as the community to come down to Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Right, man. Gulf Coast is a great place. You can always go to the beach. It's just a great atmosphere for college football, for your personal life, for anything. It's a great campus. We got 6 campuses, so the purpose is the football and the sports one, but it's just a great place to be. You're down here on the coast, you're close to the beach. You just want to go have some fun, or you want to just go to school and do your thing. It's just a great place all the way around. So it's a lot of support and a lot of family, and you'll have a great time. So come to the coast, as we say in the blue. Come to the coast.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate your time. Now, I'm not gonna mention anybody else's name though, but hey, Coach, I really appreciate your time for joining me this Saturday, man. I wish you guys much love on the game. I would be there, however, I want to be there, but however, I have a game that I have to attend.
Who play on Thursday?
Huh?
Who play? Who play on Thursday night?
No, I have my son plays ninth grade, so I got to go watch him play.
Yeah.
But no, JPS, a lot of actually, the Battle of Raymond Road is being played this Thursday. Also, Wingfield and Forest Hill, South Jackson Stadium.
Wingfield.
So I'm gonna miss that game because I'm gonna actually be down in Hattiesburg. So
okay.
So, Coach, again, man, I wish you guys well the remainder of the season. Or again, anything that we can do on the show, just definitely let us know. And I really appreciate the time, Coach.
All right, anytime, man. We gotta do it again.
All right, yes, sir. You know, we definitely gonna do it again, Coach.
All right,
All right, take it easy, Coach.
All right.
again, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in to more on the road. Now it's time to go give me some breakfast, get something to eat. So again, the things that we do here more on the road, if you definitely like to be a part of it, you can reach me via social media, Bernard Moore the Third, or More and More Sports Management on all social media profile platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Look me up, YouTube, all things online. If you'd like to be a part of the show, again, you can give me a call, 601-260-3509, More and More Sports Management. We definitely would like to come out to your location or your facility and do a show. Much love to you guys. 1 + 1 = deuces.